Right, and welcome back to Childers Road Reserve in Gisborne. It's been a while, almost a month has passed since the last time we've brought you a fixture here from the home of football in Gisborne. And thanks to Rangai Media, we can present this to you live on YouTube as Waikanaia Beach, Top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle take on Havelock North Wanderers, of course playing in the yellow from left to right. And it's Thistle with the kickoff. Possession early from Frooms through Rodriguez. Yedebek finds Frooms in the middle, and it's a hectic pace to start us off here as Batarita settles it down and exchanges with Martos. Looking to go long now. Rodriguez clever with the body. Havelock North Wanderers centre-back Jordan Stewart cuts that out. The Gazelle, Jimmy Summerton, gets his first touch. And it's Bjorn Christensen who's been dispossessed by Yedebek, but travelling referee Jason Marshall out of Auckland, Wellington and Palmerston North has found an indiscretion there as play settles down, and it's Stefan Kitching Nicholson with the free kick for Havelock North. Christensen meanders over to take the throw. Christensen, of course, an absolute stalwart of the Havelock North club. Only one season he's missed since becoming a senior football man, which was when he was off winning the Central League with Nape City Rovers. The Havelock North Wanderers corner here. Of course, Christensen, the season that he spent with Nape City Rovers was also the season that Havelock North Wanderers were in the Central League, but it's across here. Not cleared by Anderson, and a sharp save by Mitchell Stewart-Hill from Bradley Perks there for Havelock North Wanderers. It's Anderson who receives from Stewart-Hill, finding Jimmy Summerton up top. Rodriguez attempts to lay off, but it's cut out by young Jack Albertini there in the 12 for Havelock North. And it's Brandon Josling on the right. A strong delivery into the outstretched arms of James McPeak, who for the more educated viewers amongst you will know the name from Wellington Phoenix, Waitakere United, Waibop United, Miramar Rangers even, Western Suburbs, Team Wellington, amongst others. And that's not an exaggeration. He's played for a lot of clubs at a very high level, James McPeak. See Josling now with the throw on the right for Thistle. Looking for Sporforth, who's been turned by Wanderers captain Jerome Groot. It's Kitching Nicholson who finds Albertini out on the right as the crowd starts to pour in. The 2 o'clock kickoff here today, slightly different than the 12 o'clock we've had on previous Sundays here at Childers. Havelock, of course, coming from a shorter distance, so able to wake up a little bit later and still get home on time. And it's Stewart who finds Perks out on the left this time. Havelock North Wanderers today featuring New Zealand's Olympic representative up top in Dakota Lucas, who's also a New Zealand under-20 representative, who's come back home after some time in Australia playing in the Victorian State Leagues and the National Premier League system there, with Hume City would be the club of the most repute that he was seen with. He's won the ball there, but Stewart-Hill's out to collect under attention from Perks, and his roll is short to Batarita, the youngest player on the pitch at 9 years old today. He's attempted to switch to Josling on the far side there, but perhaps in the sun couldn't quite get it under control, and a long throw from Jackson Ralph there, playing left back for Havelock North Wanderers. It's been cleared by Ryan Anderson, and it's Jordan Stewart on the ball now. Jordan Stewart, of course, the current New Zealand record holder for throwing a paper plane, which he acquired while he was at university down in Dunedin. He played football for Dunedin Technical, but he threw darts made of paper in his spare time, reaching the distance of 30.2 metres, I'm told, proudly, by his coach, Chris Greatholder. Of course, has got to be at least top 2 most popular coaches in New Zealand football. The players love him, he gets the best out of them, and he hasn't lost a match in the Federation League for 4 years as a coach. Of course, Dion Adams looking after the side last year, but it's Ralph with the cross this time. Christensen takes it as wide as he possibly can and nutmegs Yedderbeck, but Rodriguez is there to cover his good mate's back. Says, you shan't be doing that to my friend. And it's Christensen standing over the corner. Special mention, of course, to the Ball Boys, who are looking splendid in their sponsored kits today. You can see all the sponsors on the back of those. And it's a goal early for Havelock North Wanderers. Jerome Groot arrives unmarked, and it's a similar pattern to the Chatham Cup fixture that was here. Number 6 for Havelock North Wanderers, Jerome Groot. Getting them on the scoreboard nice and early. So as I mentioned, it's a similar pattern to the Chatham Cup fixture of about a month ago here, where Havelock North Wanderers went up early. And it's Thistle to respond now. Wanderers, of course, if they take the 3 points today, the league's theirs to lose. They're currently 4 points clear of Thistle, but 2 clear of Massey. Just fielding a question from Josh Adams of Gisborne United, whether I'm on commentary today. Yes, Josh, I am. There's a lapel microphone on my collar. As Martos has the ball in the middle of the midfield here. It's Sporforth who's received. Held well under attention from Groot. This will keep it. Stuart Hill looks to steal a few yards at the back. And Somerton's flick finds Rodriguez and now Yedderbeck. Looking spiffy in those red boots. As ground announcer Mark Baple struggles to believe that Jerome's surname is Groot. And it's Perks showing a good turn of speed and travelling across, but Batalita there to block. Yedderbeck on his outside sees Perks still free on the right. He's begging for a corner, but Stuart Hill's done a good job there to receive it and get the ball out wide to land nice and early. Josling now at the back. And it's Sporforth in a bit of space here, travelling into the attacking third. He's got Rodriguez, who's popped up on the right-hand side this time. Christensen's long ball is looking to find Lucas, and Anderson is on hand to clear. Batalita hooks for Sporforth in the middle with Groot on his tail, who wins the ball, but the free kick's given by referee Marshall, who's not one that you'd mess with. Sporting a suitable amount of ink up the arms. Rides a motorcycle in his spare time. And he's telling Groot now to just pull his head in, mate. As Batalita stands over the kick. Batalita, of course, sponsored by Martai, the research facility there that might be able to catch a glimpse of at the top of the screen every now and then. His long ball is cleared not once but twice by Albertini. And it's Ollie Chapman, whose flick finds Ralph Stewart, and now Groot rather, sorry. Ralph, who's released that ball forward to Perks. Tries to go again, and they'll have to be quick on that there, Thistle, because you don't want to leave Dakota Lucas with space. He's a lightning quick character, not as fast as Gisborne Thistle's Oscar Smith, but definitely wouldn't be too many paces behind. Froome's holding the ball deep here, and he's been given a bit of space by Groot now. Rodriguez drops inside to get it, but can't find Frims again. Thistle will be feeling the pressure here, of course. As previously mentioned, it's McCurdy who's got the ball at the top there, and a deflection from Lucas. Perks has come back from an offside position though, so no bother there. Yeah, so in terms of the league, Thistle 4 points behind Havelock. At the start of the fixture, that'll now be 7 as it stands. And still one clear of Maristan Wanganui Athletic behind them. Clear top 5, bottom 4 situation in the Federation League now at the moment though, after Thistle's away victories to Palmerston North End and Levin. Locust now, McCurdy looks to find Chapman. Batarita has read that and found Yedebek on the left, who shrugs off the attention of Christensen. Yedebek, of course, sponsored by the Cancer Society, which is actually a donation from a generous local club member, and Jordan Stewart's semi-cynically cut Sporforth down there, stopping his progress. He might need Josh Hayes' Bobcat here from Diggett Gizzy to come and retrieve Sporforth from his perch on top of the ball. Many a junior football coach who would be giving Sporforth a thick ear at the moment for sitting on that. They'll say, you'll turn it into a rugby ball, son. But maybe not these days with the advances in technology. Looks like Anderson's maybe winded here in backfield. Perhaps copped a stray elbow. Lucas is walking over, attempting to at least display some sort of concern. Another member of the Inked Brigade, the former Mount Albert Grammar student, but a proud Hastings local. And Sporforth goes long and finds the crossbar. Impressive strike from Mr. Versatility, Cullen Sporforth. And McPeak rolls it off calmly as if nothing ever happened, but Frims is received here and he's clear in the box. It's a good save down low by McPeak. So this will look to get back into the fixture here and make a mark of their own. Rodriguez is tracking well here to meet Albertini, who's continued his run, the teenager. Finds Lucas, who did not give up on that, and Anderson's given him a little bit too much room. His touch wasn't quite there. It's Rodriguez down the left side, again using the full width of the pitch, and it's a wide one here at Childers Road. Batarita has Frims in the middle, who uses Anderson behind him, who seems to be standing up straighter than he was before. Frims again finding himself on the ball a lot. Getting quite deep to collect it. And it's Batarita now. Through to Habitat Solutions, Ryan Anderson. And Perks playing out on the left today with the addition of Lucas into the team. Picks that one up. He's got McCurdy above him. Back to Chapman and now Jerome Groot again. It's Perks in the middle. He's attempted to turn but deflected it off himself, and Rodriguez calmly searches out Josling on the right there, who's also waving the flag of the Cancer Society, much in the same vein as Kuba Yedebek. And Somerton's put a lot of pressure on Jordan Stewart there and won the throw for Waikano Beach Top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle. And it's Josling who'll take it. Now, rumours from the gym this week, Josling not only has been bench pressing 150, which is double his body weight, he's actually been bicep curling his body weight as Yedebek has a pot from distance, and McPeak has to stretch to collect it, which is saying something. He's got to be all of 6'5", 6'6", perhaps, McPeak. Perks here at the top of the box. And Lucas again in space. And Christensen would be looking to score there, but it's been blocked, potentially by his own player. If you tap on your YouTube screen there, you'll be able to see what happened exactly. Albertini reads and wins it off Rodriguez. Back to McPeak in goal there. He's plying his trade now as an accountant down in the Hawke's Bay. First arrived and offered his services to Port Hill down there in Napier, but playing on the field. And Greatholder obviously couldn't handle that, so reached out and acquired his services, which he's sharing the goalkeeping role with young Thomas Hooper. McPeak, of course, donning the gloves today. Pretty important fixture in terms of the league, and Thistle can take that as a big compliment. Summerton looks to be in that lone role up front today for Thistle. Which of course has been shared alongside Brower and Ollie Davies up front so far this season. A little bit of a change here, as Thistle coach Garrett Blair looks to find a way to crack this seemingly undefeatable Havelock North Wanderers side. Their last loss in league competition under Chris Greatholder was here at Childers Road Reserve in 2017, where Agustin Lastagaray of Argentina, a former Independiente, not youth team player but full squad member, was the goal scorer on that occasion in the 1-0 victory, and that's the last time that Greatholder's tasted that as a coach in the Federation League. Wanderers, though, coming off a loss last week in the Chatham Cup to Miramar Rangers, where they went away and looked like they were on the end of a 5-0 defeat to Miramar Rangers, but scoreboard doesn't tell the full story. It was 2-0 half time, and 2 goals in the last 5 minutes sort of blew that out. As Stuart Hill stands over the free kick here. And Albertini again wins it above Rodriguez. He's giving a good account of himself, the teenager there. Albertini, another one who sampled Nape City Rovers last year, as Christensen is again in space on top of the box. And Groot inside the area. Thistle have done well to keep him heading the right way from their perspective. Albertini's cross is going to find Jackson Ralph on the left. And Ralph looks to find Stewart, who's won that in front of Somerton and got past Frooms. Josling has managed to win that. Copped a bit of a knock in the process, but he's got Frooms in the attacking half now, and Jimmy Somerton in a little bit of space. He's going to look to shoot early. And you can't blame him for that, because there is power in that left boot, attracting all sorts of attention from what you'd call bigger clubs as Jimmy Somerton. Without letting the cat out of the bag too much, there's been offers so far this season. So definitely a name to keep your eye on in future years. Peak here short to catching Nicholson, who finds Groot, and now Albertini on the right. Matarita's headed clearance is met by Groot, and then McCurdy into Martos. And Yedebek into Chapman. linesman flag has gone up. Perhaps a bit of a glance to the referee there just to confirm that that will be okay with him. Yedebek's long throw finds Frooms in the middle. Frooms, of course, sponsored by Dynamic Rehab, and he's looking light on his feet. Josling finds Cullen Sporforth. And it's another throw for Thistle number 3, Brandon Josling, on the right-hand side. Land gets the crossover. Cleared once by Kitching Nicholson and a second time by Groot. Christensen takes a bit of time to travel before laying off to Groot, and Chapman then Albertini, an exchange there on the right hand side. Batarita gets a little nibble on that, but Groot's maintained possession and found Lucas at the far post, and it's a good save from Stuart Hill. Equally good header from Dakota Lucas, hitting that straight into the ground and making it awkward for the Gisborne Thistle goalkeeper. Wearing the number 20, sponsored by Ryan Electrical. We thank Liam for jumping on board there, seeing that our man didn't have something written underneath his name in the program. And Thistle are going to have to effect the change here. It's strong Brandon Josling. And number 3 making way for number 12, Daniel Venema. Josling aggravating an injury that he was already carrying. And Daniel Venema makes his way onto the field and picks up Jordan Stewart straight away. He'll also be looking to pick up a player sponsor if at all possible, if there's anybody out there who likes the cut of his jib.
What number?
Number 12, Daniel Venema, coming on for Gisborne Thistle. Oh, that is an incredible save from Stuart Hill. Lucas again in space, left free, and his world stood still there just for a second. Hearts and mouths in the grandstand, and Stuart Hill's shoveled that out. Big Arsenal supporter will be harking back to the days of David Seaman making that clawed save in an FA Cup semi-final. And Stuart Hill again with the punch. Giving an excellent account of himself today. Sustained pressure here for Havelock North Wanderers, and Dakota Lucas has been the danger man so far. Christensen's gone deep and found Chapman, who's slipped on the ball, and Nick Land's been quick to react. A lot of players leaving their feet for challenges. Arguably a handball clearance there by Jackson Ralph, but never mind. McCurdy's allegedly been cut down by Nick Land, Thistle captain, who's unlucky to receive a yellow card here. Nick Land, the 400 gamer for Gisborne Thistle, number 8 there, sponsored by Mokairo Herefords. And it's Rodriguez now getting a talking to by referee Jason Marshall, telling him it's not his first rodeo. Marshall instructs Ralph that he must wait for the whistle. Batarita's 10 yards is perfect. And Rash has put that straight into the arm to Stuart Hill, who reacts quickly, and that's more difficult than it looks. He's got Venema now on the right here. Venema, of course, a key figure yesterday in a monumental 6-5 victory for the Gisborne Thistle youth team over Carpet Court Thistle Massive, who were previously top of the table. That youth team coming off a 13-0 hiding to local rivals Gisborne United. And a wet and rainy day a fortnight ago here at Childers Road Reserve. Following week they came back to take a 4-3 victory over the Thistle Reserve team. And they may be bottom of the table, but that's 2 scalps they've got in the last 2 weeks. Martos now in position for Thistle and spots Yedebek out on the left-hand side. Albertini reacts to a bit of a loose touch. Batarita looks to thread the needle. It's a semi-clearance from Havelock North, and it's found the feet of Nicholas Land, of course sponsored by Morkaido Herefords. Rodriguez is free in the box here and he looks to shoot quickly, and he's found the nets. So Gisborne Thistle draw level through Justo Rodriguez, wearing the number 11 for Gisborne Thistle and sponsored by More FM. Brings things back to level and has a quick salute to the crowd. And the script has changed slightly since the last time these guys met. Was Wanderers heading into half-time with a 2-0 lead in the Chatham Cup fixture, but we're level now, midway through the first half. Rodriguez, of course, been playing left and right back for Thistle over recent weeks, and he'll be relishing the opportunity to be set free further up the pitch. Thistle with a bit of a spring in their step now. There's Martos in the middle there. Jogs about with a bit of a swagger, and Yedebek's found Somerton here in space on the left. He will look to take on Kitching Nicholson, and it's across this time to the far post. Composed clearance from Jackson Ralph. And Christensen's shown up in the middle of the pitch. 2 good sides here as the crowd builds. Sunday afternoon football at Childers Road Reserve. What could be better? Clever turn from Chapman, but his touch is too big. It's a Gisborne Thistle throw. Yedebek finds Martos, of course, wearing the 18 for Thistle and sponsored by the Tillman Holdsworth family. As the man who, you'd use the term, taught me to jump rope, arrives down the bottom of the screen. You might have caught him in the front there. That's Christensen in the middle for Havelock North. Lucas a little bit deeper than usual. Everything else he's received around the penalty spot. And now we've got Thistle captain Nicholas Land in space on the right. Rodriguez evades the offside trap. He's found himself in the area. His cross gets past the huge wingspan of McPeak, and Albertini comes in with a timely challenge for a Gisborne Thistle corner. Number 23, Cullen Sporforth, of course, sponsored by Diggett Gizzy. And Josh will be sitting in those club rooms behind. It's Anderson at the far post, can't quite meet the header. Nervous moment there for Havelock North Wanderers, who of course, if they haven't lost a game in the league under Great Holder for 4 years, they won't have been behind many times either. And a protected species of Dakota Lucas has received the free kick there, which is played into Venema semi-cynically by Bradley Perks, and somehow they've been given another free kick. Venema just innocently retreating there. McPeak sprays for Albertini. And Kitching Nicholson goes long to Christensen. McCurdy picks it up in the middle, looking dangerous here for Havelock North, and look, Lucas again free. Christensen has a go with the left from distance. Thistle will have to lift their concentration here if they're going to avoid trailing again. Anderson reads that one. It's a long ball from Ralph. Will put Stuart Hill under close attention from Dakota Lucas, but it's a good take. And the two mates who will be familiar from Hawke's Bay United days see no issue. Sportforth free in the middle, time to turn and find Nick Landon on the right, but Ralph's cut that one out. Perks drops deep to pick it up. Game's quite stretched here. As Chapman searches out Albertini on the right. McCurdy now over the ball. Of course, played at centre back last time these teams met here. He's in his more accustomed attacking midfield role today. McCurdy, a Napier Marist man over recent seasons, but joined back in with Havelock North Wanderers for this season. This will keep the ball well here, and it's Stuart Hill building from the back. Anderson gives it back to him. And Wanderers look very content to just sit here, not looking to press at all. Anderson has the Gazelle, Jimmy Summerton, sponsored by Alan Callett Panel and Paint. Wearing the number 14 proudly for Gisborne Thistle. A heavy collision in the middle there between McCurdy and Sportforth. It looks like number 23 for Thistle there, Cullen Sportforth's picked up the yellow card. Unusual little tangle there. Giving coach Garrett Blair something to think about there in terms of personnel if you've got Landon Sportforth now in the book. And Jackson Ralph again standing over the free kick. He's kept it away from Stuart Hill this time and found Jordan Stewart in the box. And it's a corner for Havelock North Wanderers. Now Thistle will need to make sure they're picking up the run of Lucas here. He's found himself free on a number of occasions. As Christensen gets it over, and Summerton clears well. Sportforth has the ball, and that's well spotted there by referee Marshall. Little clip to the heels from Christensen. Summerton evades one and finds Yedderbeck out on the left in space. This will need to get numbers forward here. And Groot's timed his challenge perfectly to win that off Yedderbeck. Perks brings it down off his chin. Gets it back off McCurdy and then is cut out by Batarita. Martos finds himself on the floor for Sportforth to win. And that's a free kick out of sympathy, surely there, with an awkward position that Perks found himself in, and it's Rodriguez now, number 11 for Thistle, the goal scorer, who's going to find himself in the book. If he's not careful, he'll find himself sitting down for 10 minutes. The referees have got that tool to use now, and they won't be afraid to use it. So we've got 3 yellow tickets for Gisborne Thistle so far, and if my memory serves me correctly, none for Havelock North Wanderers. Nothing disgusting of note from the visitors, of course, so far, but I don't think there's been too much malice shown by Thistle. Somerton heads that one, it's gone to the back of his own player, and Yedebek's been swiped at. Lucas finding himself in the top corner of the box this time. Stuart Hill's long throw has Frooms looking for Rodriguez, who's been called offside. Perhaps the instant replay tool could be used there to find out how tight that was. And it's Havelock North settling it down now. As we head into the closing stages of the half. Oh, and could be argued that's a bad one from Grooch in the context of the fixture. And if we've got parity here, that should be a yellow card for the Havelock North Wanderers captain, because he's cut down the goal scorer from Thistle there. And he can't hear me in his headset, but my advice would be he needs to go into the book, otherwise you've got a serious imbalance here, and rightly so. Marshall maintains what he would see as control of the fixture, and Havelock North have just that little something to think about now. Sportforth standing over the free kick with Aotearoa labour hire between his shoulder blades in full view. And he's donated that one through to McPeak. He's going to look to go long here. Being berated by Christensen, who should just be nice to him because they're lucky to have a goalkeeper of such repute. Yedebek's played that into Lucas, but he's managed to catch it before. Christensen's header finds the top of the net. Of course, the new Football Central kit here looking splendid for Gisborne Thistle. As previously mentioned, you can see Aotearoa labour hire on the back of it. Dynamic rehab under the number. Pro Traffic on the shorts. And Rhythm and Vines on the sleeve. YMCA Gisborne pops up on the other sleeve thanks to the input of the mother of the Davies boys, Ollie and Alex. Ollie taken ill today, so not able to take the field, but Alex is in the squad. It's Anderson now on the ball, calming things for Thistle. Wanderers do not look interested, so they can take as much time and space as they want here. The home side. Stuart Hill looks to find Somerton long. It's fallen to Nicholas Land. Of course, the Gisborne Thistle number 8 sponsored by Mokkaido Herefords as Perks nutmegs Sportforth. Benham is going to need to track here at the far post. Batarita cuts it out. Ralph's long throw has Perks laying it off for McCurdy. Christensen now in the middle, and McCurdy free in space. Stuart Hill again makes a tidy save. And a long throw just evades Nicholas Land. Chapman now in the middle for Havelock North Wanderers. And Christensen has Albertini on his right, who's put a little bit close to Stuart Hill, who's allowed to watch that out over the byline to no harm. Now, one thing that Havelock North Wanderers coach Chris Greathold is going to have to be aware here is the bulk of his side's coming in at 26 years old. We won't go into what you could look up about people turning 27, especially famous people turning 27. But at that late 20s age group, it's the kind of time that people start to think about families and children and marriages and those kind of things. So he could be looking to a rebuild in the next few years. Summerton, great skill there to find Froomes in the area. It's a Gisborne Thistle throw. What brings the age into my attention there is looking at Ollie Chapman. The last time I looked was a teenager. But as we all know, bread is bread and cheese is cheese, and he's 26 years old now. As McPeak has another goal kick here for, I don't know if you could call that a shot, a speculative effort from distance, perhaps. Ralph's on the left, in space. And it's Havelock this time with lots of time at the back. Summerton just starting to put attention on Kitchen Nicholson, who's found Groot, and now that 26-year-old man, Ollie Chapman, of course, Nape City Rovers junior, who's been Havelock North Wanderers loyal since 2018, after a bit of a break, as he found himself in the early 20s, perhaps seeking those future partners, getting his ducks in a row, you might say. Christensen here now in the box, and Martos has cut that out and been kicked. Froomes spots Rodriguez, who wriggles between Albertini and Chapman, and he's one-on-one with Stewart. He's gone around him and released a shot from distance. Deserved to have a lot better fortune in terms of his shot there, Rodriguez, after that bit of skill in the middle. And Perks has shoved Yetterbeck. Perks, of course, definitely the man on the pitch who's played in the most different shirts amongst Hawke's Bay football. You wouldn't want to use the term that most would in that instance, but it does rhyme with shrub putt. It's Kitching Nicholson's clearance there. Sneaky, unfortunate handball there from Froomes. And don't know if you picked that up on the effects microphone, but that's Havelock North Wanderers captain Jerome Groot trying to buy a yellow card for Tomic Froomes, instructing his teammate Vince McCurdy to kick it into him as he retreated. Streetwise, you could call it. It's Froomes again now. Yetterbeck just loses his footing there, and that one's gone out for a throw for Havelock North Wanderers. Taken by Jack Albertini to Christensen in the box, who's seemingly run that one out for a goal kick, but assistant referee Chris Niven's flag stayed down. Yedebek gets his one now. And McPeak's barking something at his constituents to do with Gisborne Thistle number 23, Cullen Sporforth, who's sprayed, but given it to McPeak on this occasion. Of course, the big crowd here today, not short of advice for the boys on the pitch. Can't say I've seen too many of them playing at the same level as these guys. Land is level there. And a tough call. You won't get any complaining from Land unless there's something seriously wrong. He's one of the nicest guys you'll find in the sport. Skitching Nicholson wanders forward and pops it over to Ralph there on the left, who's got Perks in space. Looking to get a crossover, which he does. And Christensen, in a very advantageous position, has sprayed over from 12 yards out. And Jason Marshall decides that's quite enough. He's called half time and it's level pegging here at Childers Road Reserve, which is probably a fair reflection of the fixture so far. Waikanae Beach, top 10, Holiday Park, Gisborne Thistle 1, Havelock North Wanderers 1. We can look forward to the halftime show that the Bushman Ronnie Young might be able to deliver us. As floor manager Tom menacingly gathers the portable microphone into his hand and tells me to go away and do something. Earn my wage, he says under his breath. I respond with, that I am.
Check, check.
It's a rare glimpse of the voice behind the laptop that you'll see there. Please forgive us if we go out of range and you can't hear me, but we're going for a walk. Decent crowd here today, I'd say probably good 100 in the stand at least. Sophie Land up the top there, saying g'day with a big smile on her face. This will be the point that it dips out of coverage. We don't know whether the Wi-Fi will extend to underneath the grandstand, but that's where I am now. There's a couple of children doing something they shouldn't be here. One young Gisborne Thistle superstar on the rise has bought his dog. See if we can just get a dog interview here. I'll just make sure this microphone's on, which it is. Hey buddy, what's your name?
Dan. My name's Layla.
Don't know if you heard that in the microphone there, but this is Layla. Don't know if you can see it on the screen there. Take Layla for a walk here. And of course you'll also be able to see on screen here, this is Travis White, sponsored by the Te Hapura store. So Travis, can you give us a bit of a story here about young Layla? Where did she come from? What does she do?
So she come from the neighbour's house.
Yes, yes.
She is
Just can you just spin around here, mate? This is of course training, just to get that pretty face on the camera.
Oh well, she's a husky cross with some hunting dog, I've been told. And she's a little, can't swear on here, can I?
You definitely cannot swear on here.
She's a mischief.
She's mischief. You were going to say that...
Yeah, we can't say it though.
Yeah, she's a little S-hit, eh? Yeah. Well, Layla, we'll be looking for you to improve your behaviour from this time forth. Maybe get involved with the halftime show. And I'll look for some thumbs up once I wander my way out here to see how much coverage we've got. Travis, can you juggle while holding a dog? Let's see if we can do it. Just a little wave if we can, floor manager Tom, if you can still hear me. I've got 2 waves. I'm going to see how far I can get here. No pressure lads, but you're on international television now. Going to YouTube. We're still good here? Wow, that range has extended, so I'll find myself here behind the boys looking splendid in their kits. Sorry, Bushman Ronnie Young, is there any chance we can get Travis doing that with the dog? Just in and out a few cones? Boys looking splendid here in their sponsored kit. Oh, here I'm in. Got the goalmouths being occupied by rogues. And on my right, you won't be able to see the number, but it's number 13 for Havelock North Wanderers there. We've got an age group Samoan international in our midst. As the Havelock North Wanderers guys, no pressure on them, but we're looking for a halftime show of repute. We can just get a shot of these kits here. We've got young Cam Walters. Bit of Aotearoa labour hire on the back. Dynamic rehab. Cam, can you just do a little half turn and flex the bicep for the YMCA there? Yeah, good flex. And the other one more. And of course Rhythm and Vines, where Cam's too young, but he'll be there in a few years' time, without a doubt. Risky business here, but I think I've spotted Jake Theron. Looks to be taking penalties. Fresh off a rather big victory in local competition yesterday. Of course I can't yell to get his attention, but I've heard rumours that it was a 7-0. He's just about to take his penalty here. He's asking his son Ken which side he wants it to go. He's telling his son Ken that he's going to put it top right. I'd call that middle right at best, but we don't have the range on the microphone to get to him, so you're going to have to live in wonder on that one. Just going to make my way over to ground announcer Mark Baple here on the side, who should be putting on a show in that goalmouth, perhaps taking a penalty from Jake Theron. And it's another dog. It's a dog fight down here. Portia, there's no need for that. Hello, what's your name? This is Portia Baple, taking a bit of attention. Does anyone own this dog? Ah, finally, we've got the owner of this dog here. It's just Tuck's Wonder Dogs Gisborne edition here.
Yes, mate. Sorry.
Greetings, Mark. You're live on international television here, and this dog's about to trip me up.
Yeah, sorry about the dog. Not a sponsor's dog.
Yeah, just a quick question. First things first. Could you tell me the surname of the Havelock North Wanderers captain?
No idea, but I probably got it wrong.
The goal scorer for Havelock North Wanderers, number 6, Jerome Groot. Jerome Groot, of course. You've passed the first test. Now, yesterday you played in a very interesting fixture. Can you take us through what went down here at Childers Road Reserve?
So we won in the development team 6-5.
6-5?
Yeah.
Anybody in particular score a lot of goals?
Scored, I think, was it 4 in the end? Scored 4 goals. Then we had Travis White and also Dan Venema with a goal as well. So
Fantastic
I think 3-1
result.
up at half-time, Massive came back, winning 5-4, and then we came back and ended up with a penalty then to make it 6-5.
Memorable fixture, and of course, who was in goal for the Gisborne Thistle youth team yesterday?
I think it was my twin, Matt Baple.
Matt.
Yeah.
That
He's
guy.
Not here today.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt's he's made his comeback, which is disappointing. But yeah, he actually did all right, I think, but a bit rusty.
He's got some nerve showing his face around here after the way he acts, you know? Just that niggly kind of personality. Yeah, always chipping in, bit of advice for people. He just needs to rein it in a bit, doesn't he?
His twin brother's a lot more calm.
Yes, yeah. Tell you what, I like that twin brother. He's got a business that also supports Gisborne Thistle, doesn't he?
I think it's Dynamic Rehab, yep. A
Yep.
few injuries. Actually, an injury today to Brendan Jocelyn already in the first 5-10 minutes with a knee injury, so we'll have to look at that during the week.
Do you have a Twitter handle that you might use? There's NRL Physio. It's
Yeah.
quite popular
Yeah.
these days. Is there any chance perhaps in the future that with the social media presence that Gisborne Thistle is starting to have thanks to Rangai Media,
We could have a little physio table, of injuries and
Yeah.
time frames for recovery and
friendly Mark's physio table perhaps?
yep, we could do
Something
that.
for the future.
Yep, I think that's a good idea, mate.
And is it physiotherapy just for people or any other physiotherapy for certain animals or anything like that?
No, just people, yeah,
Okay.
and kids, but yeah,
So if Layla gets injured, she's on her own?
she needs to go to a vet.
A vet,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah, I'll
And
probably go to a vet. I don't think we've got any sponsors at vets, but
that's where I'm going with this.
I don't
this.
think ALH do veterinary practices, do they yet? Or,
No, but one time in the future, perhaps they could be getting those office temps in there and the construction workers and maybe a on-demand vet.
could be.
We just reached the end of half time. Thank you for your time, Mark.
No worries, Ryan, always
Lovely
appreciate
guy. Hopefully we don't see Matt out on the pitch today, though. And none other than Jake Thron's just gone and found this ball. Little public service announcement here. If you ever see a ball go over the fence, feel free to get it, because they're not free. And we'll make our way back up the grandstand so I don't get caught in a rush of people coming out after half time. Don't worry, Sophie, I just turned it off. Well, they say time flies when you're having fun, but that seemed to take an age, getting down there and back. As Thistle make their way back out onto the pitch. If I can give myself a little nod, I'd say that timing is impeccable. So for those of you that stayed with us through that half-time show, thank you for your company. You can text your mates now and tell them that it's back on. And that it's currently 1-1 between top of the table Havelock North Wanderers and current third place Gisborne Thistle, who would remain in third place with a draw here, but take second place with a victory, trailing Massey by 2 points currently. Massey yesterday drawing 3-3 with Wanganui Athletic. Just coming through screen now, you'll if the coverage worked, you'll hear is that age group international for Samoa Jarvis Alatise. He'll be looking to step onto the pitch in this half. Just scouring the field at the moment. Doesn't look like any substitutions for Gisborne Thistle or Havelock North Wanderers. Just receiving some online feedback from Havelock North Wanderers player Alexander Eagleston, who's informing us that his name is either Josh or Jordan, and I've been calling him either Josh or Jordan, so sorry Mr. Stewart. I'm still going to stand by my information that the paper plane throwing record is factual, and perhaps Andrew Eagleston, you can fill me in on that. Seems to be a bit of a delay starting the fixture here, not quite sure what's going on. Perhaps waiting for some information from ground announcer Mark Baple. It's Somerton who's started this one full of fire. He goes around Ralph around the outside with the left foot, finds himself in the box. And everyone was just standing in wonder there for a second as that ball fizzes around the park for Gisborne Thistle like a whirlwind. Batarita finds Rodriguez, and it's Frooms. Was shaping to shoot. Looked to slip Rodriguez just at the last second there. Speaking of who might have held on through the half-time show, and speaking of shows, special good day to none other than Constable David Salmon of the New Zealand Police Force, who's watching this at the station currently. Here he's had a special friend visiting him over the weekend, and I hope it's all gone well. And the healthy crowd here at Childers Road Reserve on a Sunday will hope that Waikanai Beach Top 10 Holiday Park Gisborne Thistle will go well in the second half. Anderson looks to go long, but it's a worm burner on this occasion. And Havelock North have possession through Jack Albertini. Makes me wonder who Jordan Stewart is, if his name's Josh. But it's Group this time. And Christensen, who pumps it straight at Stuart Hill with no further attention on him. Just looking for Dakota Lucas at that moment, but he's out there on the right-hand side now. Somerton is strong there, under attention from Josh or Jordan Stewart. Thinking it's Josh. No time like the present to check the MyComment app. It's just for confirmation on there. Of course, while I'm commentating, I can't see the feedback from the helpful viewers. And for the first time in a long time, as I get out this phone and Somerton's in space on the left, exceptional level of skill there. Squares it for Frooms, who can't quite find that target, but Somerton, that is an incredible level of skill here. Right, so we've got the phone out checking the MyComment app, and one of our original commentary team members, viewer Hastings, from the undisclosed location has shown up. So they say things happen for a reason, and don't they? Full of compliments for Ronnie Young's half-time show, but sorry, something's just going on the pitch here. Considerable amount of consternation on the sideline here. It's the the coaches versus the referees by the looks of it. Someone's been sent from the dugout. And good to see. Great holders leapt to Blair's defence. That's something for the comment section, perhaps. Gripping content. We've got viewer Hastings coming in from his undisclosed location. We've got confusion over names, and the whole reason I got my phone out in the first place was to check what the Stewart lad's first name is. And it's Pasarita out here on the left. And for the users of the app, you're familiar with the phrase token expired, which means you have to reload your page as lands. It's free in the middle. Can't quite get enough curl on his cross or his through ball. If anybody knows who Jordan Stewart is and what they did to me, I'll be interested to hear. Christensen keeps it in on the far side. Marshall's blowing the whistle against the advice of assistant referee Melinda Knight. So it's Thistle who have ended up with the throw. Rodriguez holding the ball up under attention from Albertini. And he's hit the deck and not received anything, so that's yet another narrative to play on in this fixture so far. Definitely been worth the price of admission, especially as have a look north of free on the right here. And Venom is going to need to hook. And Yedebek does so successfully, but it's only as far as Albertini. Frooms does well to get a touch on that and give Chapman some attention of his own. Rodriguez wins the throw. Frooms is free and evades Groot, but can't find Summerton, who gets a final touch on that beneath McPeak. Thistle are asking for a back pass here. I mean, a side pass on that occasion. And we wait for the fixture to calm down so I can just make reference to that cost of admission, which of course is nothing if you've wandered through that gap in the fence over there behind the left-hand goal. You know who you are if you're listening in. Wouldn't cost you too much just to drop $1 into Jerem's granddad's little bin there. Keep the lights on at the club rooms, you'd say. Never mind. It's Christensen this time. He's going to steal this free kick from Ralph. Another good save from Stuart Hill. And an alert clearance from Ryan Anderson. So we scour the pitch for player sponsors that haven't been mentioned yet, and we go as far as the Tillman Holdsworth family, who are looking after number 18, Emmanuel Martos. Unless, of course, I've got that wrong as well. Good clearance there, and we've found the Gazelle Jimmy Summerton in space. Of course, sponsored by Alan Callett Panel and Paint. Exceptional skill. And McPeak gratefully accepts that one into his arms. His long clearance is going to be awkward, but met by Anderson. Christensen looks to play the through ball to Perks, but he's not running that line. Batarita finds Rodriguez, who looks to spin. Kitching Nicholson, cutting through ball to McCurdy. It's Ralph now out on the left, who look to deliver with that left foot. Straight into the arms of Stuart Hill. Venema loses his touch there, and Wanderers in possession now. And the snappy feet of Nicholas Land has tricked them into letting that one run out of play. Martos for Land again. Land's through ball is cut out by Josh Stewart. Yedebek reads that one, but his touch is loose and Albertini's looking to nick it off him. He's emerged the Czechoslovakian left back for Gisborne Thistle. And it's Albertini again on the right-hand side. Unsure if you picked up that splendid mullet just across the bottom of the screen there. That's the stuff of legends. Always something interesting in the grandstand here at Childers Road Reserve, and Sportfield's done well to bring that one down. Can't quite find his man. Of course, Thistle used to having a clear front three up the top there. Good level of intensity in this fixture now, as Albertini sends that one over the byline. Speaking of sending, will be something that Albertini's probably well familiar with. He's the social media captain of Havelock North Wanderers, coming in with 599 Instagram followers. So anybody out there, perhaps young Alfred Eagleston, who's got the day off today, could be sending the message out to get him that 600th follower. His play breaks down there for Thistle, and it's Wanderers again. And of course, if you do happen to be that 600th follower, just mention that to Marcel Campbell down at Neighbourhood Pizzeria and you'll be receiving a 6% discount off your order tonight. Special discount code Eagleston Central. As Stuart Hill clears long for the Thistle. McPeak just barking orders, not as vividly as in the Chatham Cup fixture that month ago, which shows that the level of speech on the pitch itself has increased from both teams. Anderson shields this one out for a goal kick. And Stuart Hill goes short to Batarita. And Anderson spins his way out of that challenge to find Venema on the right. And it's Summerton again under close attention from Josh Stewart. And then intensity's raised again. Ralph makes the clearance for Havelock North Wanderers. And Layla White gets amongst the action, letting her voice be heard from the sideline there. Sportforth will look to shoot here without a doubt. And he's pummeled it into Josh Stewart. And a handball's been found there by referee Jason Marshall, which means it's a free kick to Havelock North Wanderers. Now, just in shot there, the bearded centre-back for Havelock North Wanderers, Stefan Nicholson, is a tennis player of considerable talent down there in the Hawke's Bay region. He's put the game on the shelf for the winter. But viewers of the show, remember, he's not the only tennis player plying his trade in the Central Federation League at the moment. There's Zach Farmer, don't Google it, at Massey University, who's the Wanganui Intermediate tennis champion from previous years. So perhaps a Farmer v Kitching Nicholson tie, I believe you call it in tennis, coming up in the future. As Rodriguez has the ball now for Thistle. Finds Froomes, but it's cut out by Stewart. McCurdy has Chapman in space here. Lucas looking for a through ball, just cut out by Anderson. And Gruch now for Christensen, who's trying to win a free kick. And he's said something to upset the referee, so he's not got one then. And Somerton looks to put a bit of heat on McPeak here. He's got Albertini in space. And Thistle looking to keep numbers behind the ball. And Anderson shields for Stuart Hill, who's nice and high to pick that one up. Temperatures just dropped here at the reserve, not that the players in the middle will notice that. Anderson looking more and more composed every week there at centre-back, his first year out of high school. Lytton High School product, of course. And Sporforth has found Jimmy Somerton whilst asking for a free kick, whose cross is to Yedderbeck at the far post. He's perhaps a foot and a half too short for that one. Sporforth's going to find himself getting a talking to here. He requests a bit of information from his assistant referees about what Sporforth might have been asking about as Emmanuel Martos comes off here. So number 18, Emmanuel Martos, comes off for number 5, Augustine Ventre, also sponsored by the Tillman Holdsworth family, who maintain their presence on the pitch in a sponsorship capacity, of course. And we still look for someone in the comments section to pledge that player sponsor amount for Daniel Venema. Peak's only gone as far as Froomes, who's found Chapman rather than his own teammates. Chapman's spotted Jackson Ralph well out on the left and received the ball again, looking to pull the strings here. It's Christensen that gets his throw into the box at McCurdy, who's managed a half turn. Anderson stands his ground well. And it's a deflection for a corner. Christensen standing over this in discussion with the assistant referee about how far that ball is away from the corner flag, potentially outside the arc, but let's not dwell on that. Sporforth manages a clearance. And Ventre finds Rodriguez. Immediate effect from the substitution. And he's popped up at the far post, and it's excellent block from Josh Stewart. Would have been some entrance to the game for Ventre. Lucas is offside here. Well judged by the Gisborne Thistle defensive line. Matarita stands over the free kick for Gisborne Thistle. Goes long to find Somerton. As we reach the middle stages of the second half. Christensen on the turn. Tracked by Yedebeck, who has a little bite there, and Perks now 30 yards out, releases one straight into the Gisborne vehicle testing banner there. Good to see these crowds consistently building here at Childers Road Reserve. Sunday afternoon fixture appears to be popular. Ventre tries one and wins the throw. Yedebeck looks for him again under tight attention from Jerome Groot. Ventre's through ball for Somerton is a little heavy to be cut out by Stewart, but a good amount of chop on it just to make sure that thing doesn't run over the high line. Almost looks as if he's in suspended animation there running though. I don't know whether that was picked up on camera. Perks and Sporforth have run into each other and Sporforth's copped an elbow from Perks. And Marshall's going to have to get the two of them together like naughty school children and just tell them to calm down. The advice from Havelock North Wanderers coach Chris Greatholder is for Perks to keep smiling. Perhaps a window into the personality there, perhaps not. But Jason Marshall here is laying down the law to the both of them. Sporforth saying he pinched me, and Perks is saying that he started it. And it ends with a somewhat reluctant handshake and a slap on the shoulder blade. Venom now. As Ventre is cut out by Groups and has won a throw there. Groot's mildly upset at the prospect of a call going against him. And Sporforth sprays it to keep the ball, people on the far side, in some sort of action. Catching Nicholson, the tennis champ, finds Christensen on the way forward. Bjorn Christensen, of course, plying his trade these days as an electrician. Every team's got one, and every team needs one. Interesting situation down at Childers Road Reserve on Thursday night, where the lights did go off in the grandstand. Stuart Hill is out to react to that one. And McPeak will have to be careful of the bounce here. End to end, good to see. And Chapman's played that one just outside the reach of Albertini on the right-hand touchline there. Question from the floor that floor manager Tom has directed me to is from a Gisborne Thistle legend of the past, Alex Tamati Te Karere o Te Oranga McGregor, inquiring on what sponsorship's worth. We've got any package you could desire. I think we should probably go for an auction for Daniel Venema. Standard player sponsor deal from the start of the season's worth 300 as Frooms is on the burst here. Has a go from distance. McPeak can only push that one away, and it's Somerton's footing that's evaded him. Land gets around his defender and is collected by McPeak. Land's not one that goes down easily. The hard farmer's going to try and walk that one off, but the both of them probably knocked their knees together. Just a good honest challenge from two good honest men. But normally if an accountant takes on the farmer, you'd back the farmer. Only difference here is that this accountant is officially the tallest accountant in the world at 7'3". See if that leg's all right to take the goal kick. And it's ginger but effective. Anderson is up well to delight from his bench. And Land, to his credit, has stayed on the field, doesn't want any attention, just wants to get on with the job. Frooms has stayed alert there to pick up a loose pass from Dakota Lucas. He seemed to be causing a lot more trouble for Thistle when he was through the middle as opposed to out on the right, but maybe someone's pulled rank there and said, this is my team, I want to be playing through the middle. Good to see the active comments section here on the YouTube platform. We've got Councillor Shannon Dowsing on the camera there, if anyone's got any feedback for that, which has freed up floor manager Tom to patrol those comments, and it's a lot more interaction that we're able to achieve. As number 15, Kuba Yerebek, has made way for the 4-goal man from yesterday, number 9, sponsored by Alan Callett Panel and Paint, Oscar Smith. 2 with his left, 2 with his right. He's just looking for one with the head today. And look at that speed of him. And Havelock North would do well to keep an eye on that man in the 9. And it's Rodriguez who's gone to left back so that Smith can take up his spot on the right. Venema and Frooms work well there together. And it's Ventre on the ball now, finding Frooms, making himself very busy in the middle of the park. Batarita looks to find Smith. And Frooms puts a bit of pressure on Jerome Groot, who's played it into touch. It's number 2 here for Havelock North Wanderers, Vince McCurdy, coming off and making way for the Samoan age group international, Jarvis Alatise. "18 years old, out of Hastings Boys High School. Had a season with Western Rangers a couple of years back, but he's back with Havelock North Wanderers now, which is where he started. Groot on the spin. Can't find Lucas, who's popped up on the left now, so there's a lot of rotation of the attacking positions for both of these sides. And it's Alatise who is dispossessed by Sport. He's found Land, who's popped up on the left. Rodriguez in his new position for Thistle. exchanges with Ventre, who's found Frooms, who's shoved over by Christensen. The phrase there would be, I can't disappear, but you can't shove him. It's Rodriguez now for land. And Chapman's alert there to play into Frooms. McPeak looking to play short for Kitching Nicholson. And Adrian Eaglestone popping up in the comments, I'm told, by floor manager Tom, looking for number 9 for Havelock North Wanderers, who of course is young Jamie Stewart. Just to answer your question there, Abraham Eagleston. Alatise can't quite catch up with that one. And it's a rogue independent ball person who fetches that one for Stuart Hill. Perhaps looking to find themselves in those splendid kits that are making their debut appearance today. Stuart Hill goes long, but only finds the dynamic rehab banner as the ball person looks like a young Batarita from distance, emerges from behind the pro traffic banner. Summerton holds possession, finds a little bit of space, chooses not to go at Albertini this time. Frooms gets himself into the area and then out, and switches for Smith. The two speedsters beside each other there, and Smith and Lucas. And a little handball call there. Ventre wants to watch himself here because Christensen will kick it into him. And it's yet another talking to received by both sides, to be fair. Contents of that lecture would have been along the lines of, you know, you have to be 10 yards back, and I suppose it's a fair point. There's Smith now on the right. Christensen in the middle finds Alatise, whose square ball is only as far as Venema, and Smith and Venema get themselves tangled a bit there. Christensen now perks on the edge of the area. Jerome Groot calms things down and kicks it into the heels of Jack Albertini. And it's Groot in the area, and he's Havelock North Wanderers have got themselves a lead. Good little piece of skill there from Havelock North Wanderers captain Jerome Groot, wearing the number 6, as the French Bulldog joins in on the action there. Jerome Groot, of course, not to be confused with the senior lecturer of the Department of English and American Studies at the University of Manchester, Jerome D. Groot. Unsure of his middle name, but potential for Tom Fuller there, and can confirm that that French Bulldog belongs to none other than Dave Watson. He'll be known as Mr. Watson to Boys High students Oscar Smith and Jimmy Summerton. Real day for dogs here, Childers Road Reserve, and could this be a day for Havelock with their lead now on the closing stages of this fixture? Have to be around about 10 minutes left to play. As Anderson is strong in a challenge there. And that goal sucked a bit of life out of the healthy crowd here at Childers Road Reserve and injected a bit of it into Havelock. This will just need to get their heads here. It's Ralph here with the free kick for Havelock North Wanderers as the Thistle players become a little bit agitated with each other. But the delivery that time doesn't make it past the first man. Frooms pulls out an old classic of grabbing the ball to make sure he's got the free kick. Smith can't quite manage the series of deflections there, and it's Havelock North Wanderers again who have the ball and fixtures all over the place at the moment. Rodriguez does well to cushion a header back to Stuart Hill. And it's another free kick for Havelock North Wanderers. Frooms take a moment to tie his shoelaces and perhaps those of the referee. Polite little handshake there. He knows what to do, the former Crystal Palace junior. Kitching Nicholson looks to serve this one. And again, can't get past Smith. But it's Thistle who are going to have to chase the game now if they're going to get something out of this fixture. 2-1's going to see them stay in third, and it's going to see Havelock with one hand on the trophy. Theirs to lose from this point for sure, and that's a very impressive strike from Bjorn Christensen, number 8 for Havelock North Wanderers. Be doing well to keep that one out. And it's Havelock with the 3-1 lead. As we enter into the 83rd minute, Thistle with a mountain to climb now. Not unassailable, but definitely quiet here at Childers Road Reserve now. Scoreline's probably not quite fair on the Thistle at this stage to be down 3-1. They've been right in this and they really pushed Havelock for the first 70 minutes. Just need a couple of things to fall their way. And perhaps that's about to happen. Summerton on the left. Referee Marshall does well to evade. And Sporforth is a matter of inches over the crossbar there. And the experience of McPeak slows things right down. Of course, he'll look to go long here. Sporforth goes in hard on Lucas, but Groot emerges with the ball. And Groot's frustrated here at the decision. Sporforth needles him, but it's the scoreboard that's the telling factor here. Some play acting there from Christensen trying to buy Rodriguez his second yellow. As Jerome Groot in the foreground looks to tie his shoelace. And it's bodies ever at the moment. Perks, who's free through the middle. Sporforth needs to be careful not to foul here. And Anderson plays it off him for what should be a goal kick. North Wanderers looking for another substitution here. And looks like the Olympian Dakota Lucas coming off. Number 11 for Havelock North Wanderers, making way for number 19, Josh Lawson. Who's been there from the start, from the Chris Greathold era for Havelock North Wanderers. Christensen will look to stay upright and not fall over as he takes this corner. Which looks like it's crossed the byline. It's a goal kick for Stuart Hill. Venema goes long to Land, who's fallen victim to the offside trap. Catching Nicholson plays quickly for Albertini. And Rodriguez wins ahead of Alatis, but only to a Havelock North Wanderers defender. Spatarita now for Ventre. Goes deep to Stuart Hill. And it's the same combination again. This time for Froomes in the middle. Finds Smith out on the right, who will look to go around as many as he can. The attention's a little closer than it was yesterday in the Eastern League. Perks and Sporforth have another little coming together in the middle there. Something to keep an eye on in the closing stages of this fixture if you're looking for a little bit of non-football related entertainment. The running battle between those two. Christensen again with the long throw. It's found Lawson and Perks, who sealed the fixture here for Havelock North Wanderers. Number 18 there, Bradley Perks, finds Havelock North Wanderers with a 4-1 lead. And as the fair weather fans amongst you look to potentially tune out, we'd like to remind you to give the Rangai Media YouTube channel a like and subscribe, just to make sure that when your team is up here, you can keep an eye on them. And for the locals still watching, we'd be hoping that you get behind the boys and see if we can get something back here. And with the lead that has obviously increased in the last 10 minutes or so, you'd say that the 3 points is a fair reward for Havelock North Wanderers, who are a very good side. As a Sporforth boot finds itself embedded in his teammate's chest, and referee Marshall finds himself a free kick to Thistle. Do they think it's all over? Or have stranger things happened? Alatis is strong there to maintain possession under heavy attention from Rodriguez, and he's found Perks out here on the right. He's taken a wild air swing. You can almost see that unfolding before you as a green ball, which is, of course, non-regulation, makes its way across the field, and Sportforth looks to put that into neighbouring property. He's quite possibly done some damage to himself here, Perks. Considerable amount of venom went into that air swing. He's still lying prone on the floor out to the side, but Wanderers don't have any more substitutions apart from the coach himself, and he's not going to send those 40-something-year-old legs onto the pitch if he doesn't have to. It's Groot who's found himself as the leading man at the moment, and a somewhat soft free kick called against Sportforth there. And it's not Jackson Ralph that's coming off as it appeared for a second there, but the number 18 Bradley Perks on the far side, making way for the now player coach, number 10 Chris Greatholder. Might be looking to see if he can sneak himself onto the score sheet here. Obviously unaware of the exact amount of time remaining. It's a good punch there from Stuart Hill, who hasn't deserved to have 4 put past him today. And Ventre has Frooms, a good little switch ball. This clever little dink is met by catching Nicholson. And there's one of the top 20 oldest Chatham Cup goal scorers, Christopher Greatholder, getting his first touch for today. And the second time he's played in 3 years, according to the man himself, as Christensen hooks Sportforth and earns himself a $30 fine. Got to ask himself whether that's worth it at that point in the game. And Thistle looking to take something away from the fixture here. Sportforth has a go from distance. And McPeak uses a little bit of that experience to soak up a few more seconds. Christensen possibly looking to take this into the corner, but no real need with the comfortable lead now for Havelock. Stuart Hill's going to be challenged here, and Alatis has found the post. Did enough there, Stuart Hill, to stop that one from getting in the back of the net, which really would have been unfair to Thistle here. As referee Jason Marshall blows full time, Havelock North Wanderers go top of the league by 5 points, and you would have to say have one hand on the trophy. Players shake hands and forgive everything that's happened today. And we look to bring the coverage to a close here from Childers Road Reserve. Just like to thank our sponsors. Of course, the coverage brought to you by Rangai Media. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to get this enterprise growing as much as it can. So I'd like to thank the support of the Grassroots Trust and New Zealand Community Trust, as well as our local sponsors YMCA Gisborne, More FM, Neighbourhood Pizzeria, Dynamic Rehab, Pro Traffic, Aotearoa Labour Hire, Rhythm and Vines, and of course the main sponsor, Waikanaw Beach Top 10 Holiday Park. Thanks for your comments, thanks for your presence, and see you all again next time.